What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I believe this is going to be part 2 or part 3, I believe it is, for the 2JZ cleanup reseal of this motor. Now, I did have another video that I made, which was supposed to be a part 3. As you can see, this is all oil on the floor, and this is coming out of the block. Even though I drained everything out, found out that all these exhaust valve ports and also the intake ports were all leaking and dripping oil, and that kind of had me freaked out a little bit because I thought the oil was leaking through the rings, which another thing I found out is somewhat abnormal, but never happened to me in the past with all the other motors that I worked on. But this was dripping, like it was dripping a good amount of oil from these ports, and especially from the exhaust ports, and hence why there's so much oil down there. And so yeah, I had the motor turned around and I did a leak down test to be sure that the rings were not the issue. So that was the part 3 video that I had made, and I wasn't satisfied with the video, so I just left it alone. But now here we are. The leak down test that I did on all the pistons came out good. They were about 10%, somewhat 10% lower than 100%. Or if that makes sense. So out of the 100%, it was at 90, was 90% on all, about average 90% on all the cylinders. So I believe up to 20% is okay. So I think 90% it's doable and should be fine. I don't think it's an issue. I don't think it was ever an issue with it. I just freaked out because of the oil dripping out of these exhaust ports. Now, number 2, I found out when I had the motor up, on the rotated on the other side, is all these are covered in oil. So there were oil sitting inside the cylinders, and I didn't know about it. So I think that's what it was, lead dripping, and it was just coming out of the exhaust ports and also the intake ports because there was so much buildup oil sitting in the pistons, and I believe that's due to the valve stems. So I did the leak down test for no reason, but now we know that the leak down is good. You will go ahead and start taking apart the pans, and that's what we're going to do today. I do have all these bolts loosened up already. Let me just get this. All right, so that's all the bolts. My hand's covered in grease. All this is grease and oily. I'm gonna go ahead and try to see if I can get what is this called, scraper or something like that, you use for carpentry and stuff like that. So I usually try to just get it in there and then just push it up and then get the pan out. By the way, look what I just noticed. What is going on here? I just noticed it. Didn't probably notice it because it was all greased up. It's bent up. I don't know why. Even here. I don't know if this motor was dropped at one point, But yeah, it's not from me though. All right, so I have enough, and then I'm gonna go get a flat. Now you do not wanna look at that. All right, so I'm not seeing any metal so far, so this is good. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. Something smells here. I don't know what it is. Lord, this is so dirty. I'm not gonna lie, this has been a lot easier to take this out than my other motors that I've ever worked on. And just like that, guys, the pans are out. It's a very dirty motor. It's a very, very dirty motor. I'm gonna get this out. I'm gonna clean the block up sometime today. I'm gonna get this out right now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get the oil pan out, and then we should be good to go. Never have I had to clean this much oil out of a spill or cleaning and all that stuff that I worked on. So either this motor was put too much oil and that it was burning oil, or something was going on. Come on, how much oil is in the goddamn motor? Shit. Like, this doesn't make sense. Look how deep this is. And like, you see that? It should be up here, not all the way down there. So I don't know who installed this and went crazy with it, or was just annoyed with installing this rear main, but this is not how you do it. You should stick out at least up top. I've never had seen something like this where it's pushed in. Was long. All right, so this looks like it was the original pump, because these seals, they look like factory. So all this tells me that this was the original pump. When they got, whoever did the swap originally in this car, they left the pump on. They didn't do anything to the pump. So we are planning on replacing the pump. That's why I took the pump out. He does have a PHR modified pump, I believe. So this all tells me this was the original pump. Everything else is all black. That tells me that it is from swapping out the oil pans. This was whenever the swap was done, which tells me it was years and years ago. So that's that. So I'm gonna go ahead first, probably start cleaning this mess up, which is organizing those bolts. I have it in each individual paper towel. I'm gonna get those in the bags, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start taking these O-rings out. I gotta get a pick, get these O-rings out, and I'm gonna start just cleaning up the sides over here, get as much as the Toyota seals out, which I might be able to get it on video, just show you guys exactly how I do it, and then clean up the front here and start brushing the motor on the block on each side. But I do want to start cleaning up these pans first, because I want to start getting these ready to install back on the motor, but not anytime soon. But I just want to be ready. So that is to do, which is cleaning up the bolts, which organizing first, and then I want to go ahead and start cleaning those bolts up. And how do I clean them up? I'm just going to go ahead and put it on a vice grip, use a wire brush and clean it down, and use a brake cleaner and get as much grease as possible out, so that way that when I go ahead and install it, I can be able to go ahead and install it and torque them down. It's based off factory spec. So that's that. All right, guys, so I went ahead and started cleaning up I was planning on cleaning up the pans or the block today and everything else, but I got carried away. I went ahead and cleaned the block up a little bit, which is this is how it looks. I do need to clean it up a little more. I do have to clean up on this side, which there is still, see that? It's all Toyota seal, so I'm gonna have to get my hand in there and get that cleaned up. But as of right now, this is the top portion of it where the pan mates to the block is clean, as well as this is a huge mess over here. But I went ahead and cleaned, wire brushed down the gasket on the lower pan and upper pan, which on both sides. I do have to power wash this, so I'm gonna go ahead and power wash this probably tomorrow, and I don't feel like doing it today. But I got almost all the gaskets out. It should be all of it, but got that pan cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and degrease that. I gotta go to AutoZone and buy some foam. I think I might have some, but I might get more and basically use a wire brush by hand and just spray that and wire brush it down and power wash it and get that grease as much as possible out. Same thing with all these parts down here. I'm gonna get that all cleaned up nice and clean and then dried up with the air compressor. And then I'm gonna go ahead and clean out that gasket probably sometime tomorrow. I don't feel like doing anything anymore today. So that's all gonna get cleaned up tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go ahead and brake clean on a nice towel and clean up that whole section again. And then I deep clean up this as well. I'm gonna go ahead and brake clean it again. All this is cleaned up. So, and the gaskets were completely gone. The two gaskets that I found on the oil pump, they were completely hardened. So yeah, they were completely gone, and I went ahead and stabbed myself with a pick while I was trying to take that O-ring out. So that was fun. And then this wasn't too bad, but I got it out. It was still a little soft compared to the other two pieces. As you can see, they're completely cracked and broken. But yeah, I will go ahead and start cleaning up. There's a huge mess. I need to vacuum this whole section up. I don't know, I gotta figure out where I can put the pans without them, you know, having some oil residue completely dripping. I mean, there's oil here, there's oil pretty much all over my garage, especially back there. I'm somehow gonna have to figure out how to clean that up. But yeah, we're making some progress. Once that gets cleaned up, once that rear section is nice and clean, I will go ahead and start taking the gasket out, which that's gonna be a pain to take out, and then clean that piece out. And then we're gonna start installing pieces back together once I clean up the block as well. I do also have to do that, which is gonna be a lot of work. So yeah, guys, a lot of work. Lot of work. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're gonna continuing this video instead of making it a separate part. I'm gonna go ahead and power wash these pieces, the upper pan, the lower pan, and the baffle. Baffle got a bunch of, I should say the pan has a bunch of silicone pieces from all that stuff that I cleaned out from both the pans. It is nighttime. It is 7 and it's 33 degrees. So I'm gonna, like an idiot, this is probably a worst idea for me to attempt to even do this. I'm gonna go ahead and clean these pans out in the cold and pressure washer it. I'm actually going to try this new product, and I have my heater up. I bought this product from Amazon. It says oil eater. So I'm gonna try this on this particular pan and see how it does. It's my first time actually trying this fluid. Usually I get the engine degreaser from AutoZone, but I'm gonna try this on the pan. I'm gonna wire brush it and see if I can get it cleaned up as much as possible, both sides, and then also the baffle and lower oil pan. So that's my thing to do that I'm gonna try to attempt to do right now. So I was gonna record the cleaning process and everything, but because it's being dark and I don't have proper lighting outside, and I'm not trying to clean those pieces here and have the whole garage completely covered in oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this. I'm gonna go ahead and start spraying the pans up outside, and then let it sit for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start pressure washing it, see how much of it actually comes out by itself with the spray. If it doesn't, I'll wire brush it and clean it, and repeat that process until the pan looks almost new. And stay tuned. So I'll follow up with you guys once I get all this stuff done. All right, so this is the result of that new spray. Now, I didn't scrub much at all. I just basically sprayed it on, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then I went ahead and power washed it. Some areas it does still need cleaning, like here, it's all hidden stuff. I don't know how I feel. I might just brake clean that spot and scrub it off if I can, and then just clean it up as much as possible. And but this area, it was pretty dirty, as you can see in the last part. If you go back, if you want to see it again, it was covered in grease. It came out pretty good. Some areas it did really well, like here on the sides, it came out. I mean, there was a ton of grease on this. But I mean, if you want it to be completely perfect, it needs to be sandblasted. But I think this will do for now. I do have to go and clean those silicone pieces in that oil center level. So I might do that. But other than that, I just got done cleaning it, and I used a compressor and just sprayed it all over just to dry clean it. And this is the result. So it's not bad. I mean, obviously, the rest of this is going to be on here. This is all oil. It's not going to come off unless I sandblast this, and I don't have a sandblaster. So that's going to stay the way it is. For this part, it's clean enough. I'm a little concerned about this. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if it was used to stop oil. I don't know what this is. So I will let the owner know. The pan is pretty banged up. I don't know why. If I was him, if I was redoing my whole motor completely, I would get a new Laurel oil pan. But I will, again, I don't know how much these are going in the market right now, because I know together they're about $600-700 brand new. I don't know how much this piece is going to be brand new if he was to order online. I mean, this is still reusable. It's not like it's bad. I don't know what the hell's going on over here. This little, I don't know what this is. So I don't know if it was leaking at one point that they put this on here. So I don't want to install this, and then later on when he, gets this motor running and this starts to leak, I don't want to be blamed for it because I don't know what the hell is going on here. The baffle, I haven't got a chance to clean that. I'll probably brake clean that completely and get that all cleaned up nice and stuff. I'm completely wet and I'm cold. Again, this was not a smart thing for me to do at all, but I did it. Just because tomorrow it starts to snow, and the rest of the week is going to be mid 20s and below, I believe. And the highest is 30 still, I believe. I don't know exactly the temperature. I haven't checked, but I know it's supposed to snow and it's supposed to be cold as shit. So I think I will stop here with the cleaning with the pans. I will go ahead and start hand cleaning the rest of the small stuff. And I think I should be good to go ahead and install the oil pump and the pan. Just that pan for now. I will talk to the customer about this if he wants to get a new one, or if he wants me to go ahead and reuse this as this, because I just want to be 100% sure that's cleaned. I'm going to go ahead and brake clean this as well. There's still some residue, but it is clean as possible, as much as I can get to be cleaned. So yeah, guys, I got the heater up, garage is closed, I'm completely soaked. Stay tuned for more. I guess hopefully the next part, once I get a confirmation on this, once everything looks good, we'll start doing the cleaning process of the block, and then I'll paint the block, and then I'll start going and install everything back on the car. Probably won't be for the next couple of days, maybe a week or two. So bear with me on that. Reason being, obviously it's cold. No, number two, I don't want to rush to get this all back on the motor block. I want to clean the block really well. I want to go ahead, paint the block. I've ordered something from Amazon. I'll share with you guys on the next video what I'll be using for the block. In the past, I've used spray can black paint from AutoZone for high temp. I don't want to use that. I saw something online in a video on YouTube, somebody used a can and brush the paint on the block, and I'll be using that. Can't think right now. I might be getting sick from power washing and being in the cold. So I'll share that with you guys on the next video, and we'll paint the block. And then once the block dries up and everything, we'll go ahead and start installing pan, and by then I'll get an answer for the pan. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more. I hope you guys are enjoying so far whatever I have shared with you guys, and learning, and I'm learning as we are putting this shit back together. Stay tuned.